Welcome viewers. Today we are going to talk about job safety analysis and machine guard, which is a unit in your program PG certificate in industrial safety. In this session we are going to cover about the job safety and the machine guards. Whenever the term job safety comes, it always reminds us about the safety concerning to job. In today's session, mainly focus is how you will analyze the job, any job, whether it is a job at your home, job at your office or job at the shop floor. Now, if you just recall that every day we are working with electrical gadgets, but are we allowing our little children to switch on electric gadgets? I think your answer will be no. Why? Because we have to see how safe they are, how safe is the operation, how safe is the system. We will see, and we will always put some type of a guard so that our children should not reach at electric gadget, whether it is a switch, whether it is a washing machine, anything. Now, before going in detail, let me tell you about the safety. In general, safety is a natural human instinct. That means every human being want to be safe. Even in the historical period or the in ancient time, our ancestors were looking for safe place, safe action and safe environment. For that purpose, they always searched a place just like cave, which provided them a safe shelter, a hidden place for hunting, so that they can have a safe place from wild animals. Then camouflaging and silence during the attack, and even the safe for the fire, so that they can prevent their animals. These all were safety mechanisms for their survival. In short, we can say that safety is a necessity of human being and safety of today's world. As there is an advancement in the civilization, safety requirements have also changed. I want to say that in earlier period, we want safe environment from sunlight, from rainwater, from fire. Now we want safe environment for pandemic, from radiation, from our mobile, radiation from other gadgets, just like that. So with advancement in civilization, the safety requirements are also changing day by day. Now we will come to the main thing, that what is job safety analysis. In short, we will we will say JSA in our further discussion. Job safety analysis is the first step in this structured methodology which we do for analyzing a job for the safety purpose. This is a systematic approach to identify the possibility and the probability of risk, hazards, and taking measures to eliminate or reduce the risk factor, and then implement the mechanism to control the impact of human machinery and environment. For example, if we take mobile, we will analyze how safe it is working, what are the different modes of the risk, how we can save ourselves and our customer from the risk which is arising from using the mobile. Basically, job safety analysis finally leads to the improved productivity, quality and safety. Now we are talking about the manufacturing end or in the production end. When we talk about the shop floor is an integral part of an electrical and mechanical industry because it is basically it combined electrical and mechanical, because any mechanical industry are working on with electricity, while electrical industry will have the equipment which are used or which are manufactured by a mechanical industry. And this place which is called as a shop floor, where the product takes shape from a raw form, this is also called as a shop floor. Another important information you should aware that shop floor is a combination of man, machine, material and various accessories, just like different types of tools, equipment, different documents and handling equipment and energy resources just like electricity, water and others. The main objective of job safety analysis is to integrate the accepted safety and health principles and practices in a particular task or job operation in a shop floor. Suppose we take the example of a crane. Now in crane we will say that what are the health principle, what are the safety measures which are required and which has to be taken by the job operator in a shop floor. In JSA, each basic step of the job is to identified with the potential hazards and the safest way to do the job is recommended. Here I will take another example of a telephone operator. We or any secretarial staff, he is using table and chair and working for a long hours. We have to see each aspect and we have to provide the safest and the possible way which does not affect his or her health during his or her working hours. In this process basically we also discuss machine safeguarding. It is a core area in the shop floor because we are using various cutting tools, various machines just like lathe machine where the operator has to work by on turning. So he needs some type of a guard that one should not go beyond that safeguard unless until it is specified. Lack of appropriate training of the employee in a proper job procedure or the job related mishaps, injuries lead to fatal situation regularly in the workplace. What I mean to say that when we are appointing any person or we are deputing any employee for a particular job, suppose we take the example of a crane or the lift, he should or she should be aware about the possible precautions to be taken for operating the lift or the crane. Otherwise, he or she will lead to the fatal situation leading to injury to his health. Basically, there are 4 basic steps for writing a JSA. Just like first is selection of job. We have to identify which job we have to analyze. Then another thing is very important is we have to break down jobs into small tasks. If I take the example of a operator, then he's sitting, taking phone call, taking file, moving to his boss chamber. All these comes by breaking the job into small pieces. Then what are the potential hazards? Suppose she is listening or she is sitting only, then whether we are providing ergonomic chair, how it is affecting his posture. Then her lifting, her going to attend a phone call or for any other purpose, what are the potential hazards, what are the risks involved. Then finally determining preventive measures to overcome these, how we can put some preventive measures so that he or she should not face any risk. Now, there are certain advantages. As a student, you should be aware, because then only it will motivate you to study the job safety analysis. The first most important advantage is the awareness about safety and the health. Then there is a information and the knowledge about the safe working procedure, and your acceptance and adherence is also provided there. Then another very important advantage is it will promote a teamwork. When you know that your safety is not only depend on how you are working, but it also depends how your other team member are working. Even the safety of other team worker is a concern for you. And another important, the implementation of JSA recommendation to make the job safe and the worthy. Beside these advantages which I have written here, there are certain other advantages, just like improvement in the environment, improvement in the productivity, improvement in the quality of the product. All these are the other advantages. If we talk about the objectives of today's session, there is a need of defining or describing about the job safety analysis and various procedures which are involved. So after today's session, you will be able to describe what is the need of job safety analysis and what are the various procedures involved. You will be also able to explain what is the need of safeguarding and what are the various methods of providing a safeguard. How you will implement job safety analysis. What are your recommendations on a particular shop floor? That are the few objectives of the today's session. Now, as we have pointed out that there are various steps, I have explained 4 steps to you for a job. Out of 4, the first task is the selection of the job. Now, why we select a job? What are the considerations should be in our mind? The job safety analysis is essential for all kinds of job, whether it will be one time, whether it will be rare, whether it is special or whether it is a routine job. Another important point which I want to share with you, that every job is full of risk. You should not think a job as easy going. Always think, and you will find that there are some risk. Another important thing, whether it is a one-time job, whether it is a rare or special, but job safety analysis is must. Even a single step job requiring, just like switching on a button. Now, it is very simple. You will always think that how simple it is that we will switch on or switch off and we will get the light, or we will off the light, or in other terms, whenever we are switching the TV, we will get. But have you ever think of the risk? Sometimes you will face a current or some type of a shock, even when you touch the switch with your hand, when it is you have a water or something in your hand. So if you touch wrongly switch, or if there is some leakage of current, then you will also face or you will suffer a shock. So it is a very simple, but one has to take the job safety analysis by evaluating, operating. We have to analyze the ambient condition in conjunction with storage and operating life and building reliability. The conditions improve with the preventive maintenance and the proper failure mode analysis or criticality analysis must be done, so that the safe condition can be improved. Here we take one example. Suppose we are talking about the switching on of electric switch in a store of a gas cylinder. That means we are storing some cylinder in a store, and for getting one cylinder we need to switch on and switch off a switch. Now just imagine a situation, if some cylinder are leaking or there is a leakage of gas from one cylinder, and in the same time the electric switch is also defective. Just imagine what will happen. The person who is going will suffer, and even it is quite possible that it may lead to the fatal injury. So I will just recall you that what you should do. A regular maintenance of switch is one thing for this job, and another thing is that if we have some type of a mechanism for checking the leakage from a cylinder before storing it into the store. So storing and getting the cylinder is one job for a operator, but if you just divide into small parts, then switching on the switch, checking the gas leakage, or first checking the gas leakage, then switching on the electric switch, all these comes with the breaking of jobs into the small parts. Now what should be the criteria for selection of job for job safety analysis? The first criteria is that job with maximum number of disabling and the life-threatening injuries and illness should be considered on the priority basis. Jobs where accident or mishaps were just prevented should be considered. Job with fast dynamism and moving parts. Here I will take an example of a grinding machine or a machine working in a high speed. Another important point is that if single or two jobs are working on the same floor, that means there are many jobs which are to be done on a same floor. So side by side we have to do several jobs. Such type of job should also be taken into consideration for job safety analysis. Jobs with a process and procedure changes. That means if you are working in a shop floor or in a factory, you must have experience that there are certain jobs where we are changing the process and procedure frequently. Now why such jobs are to be considered or to be selected, or why we are making this criteria? Because you just think of an operator. operator, once he gets familiar with the process is getting changed. So there is a chances of accident, chances of injuries. Therefore, this criteria is also very important. Finally, one has to think for a job which is made available to employees. That means, in spite of all the above criteria, we need to do the job safety analysis for all the jobs. That means the most important criteria is that we should not leave any job for job safety analysis. Another important criteria is the employee involvement. We have selected a job. Now we are conducting the job analysis for safety purpose. One important aspect is that we are analyzing the job. We are not analyzing the employee. So be assured that employee who is working on that job should not feel that he is going to be evaluated. Another thing is that we have to make them involved in the whole process. Because if we are doing job safety analysis, it is in the benefit of the operator. Another important thing that when we are analyzing the job, we have to select employee also. We have to consider his or her average skill, normal attitude toward correctness of the process, procedure and the final result. Let me explain this point, what we mean by average skill. There may be three categories: higher skill, average skill and the low skill. So while job analysis, we always consider that the employee or the operator has the average skill, normal attitude towards correctness. Suppose he or she is observing some defect in the process. For example, in case of lathe machine, he or she is observing that he is not getting the good finish. That means the tool is defective or there is something going on wrong in the machine. So instead of continuing, he must have an attitude for the correctness, because it is also wrong to go with the wrong process. Division of steps, what I have said, that how you will divide or break into the small jobs. Before actual beginning the job safety analysis, it is advisable to go through general conditions under which the job is performed at the workplace before the analysis is started. We have to see how these processes, how these procedures are compliance with the reference standard, whatever we have in terms of safety. The data must be collected to bring the workplace with existing process and procedure with reference to the standard which we got as a reference material. In case of non-existence of any lay down procedure, the existing procedure should be documented to establish the reference standard. It is a normal conversation between the operator that we do not have any standard reference document. Don't worry. Take the average skilled worker, take the normal working condition, establish a procedure and document it. That will become a standard reference procedure for that particular job. In this process, we see the whole process from beginning till end. You will find that there are number of steps, there are number of actions, or we can say there are chain of action of man and machine. We have to identify it. These steps are not only specific to job but also specific to work area where the operator is working. Remember one precaution here, that if you are changing the work area, the steps also need to change. The other associate, logistic support, movement of material, movement of man, environment condition or working condition are to be taken into account during this division of steps. When we talk about the associate, the operator must have one attendant or one attendant between two operator. Logistic support must be trolley, movement of material with the help of crane, man. Environment condition is very important, just like flow of air, light, condition of water. All these things should be taken while we are dividing the steps for conducting the job safety study. As a first step, we have divided the job safety study or the job into different steps. When we start the study, the first step which we have to take, we have to study the job from the point of view of safety. We have to see, we have to consider what are the potential risk areas which are associated with that particular job, and that should be noted at one place. When you break a job into a small job or a small task or small step, each step should be considered from the point of view of safety and the risk. In the first part of job safety analysis, we have to make a sequence of job. Suppose we take a job with 5 steps, each job should be sequenced properly, just like what is job 1, what is task 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we have to take the data or the safety analysis for each task. Then this data is compiled and we have to see the potential hazards are to be identified. In the safety course, the most important part is job safety analysis. Whenever you will acquire your certificate and you will go to the field, the first job is for you is the job safety analysis. You have to face a job and you have to make the analysis. We have also studied what are the characteristics or what are the steps of the job safety analysis, just like first is the breaking of the job, then employee involvement, then considering the risk involved in each and every task, then compilation of all the things. Then we have also studied what are the risks or what are the advantages, and the most important advantage is improvement in the productivity and the quality. Another important point which we have considered, the criteria. how you will, or when you are going for the selection of job, what are the criteria should be in your mind. And the most important criteria should be in your mind, not to leave any job in your shop floor, in your house for the safety analysis. Thank you.